Good morning, our cherished viewers, and welcome to the program. We're glad that you could make time to be with us today. It's my pleasure to bring you the final quarterfinal contest between St. Augustine's and St. Peter's Secondary Schools. Viewers, as you can see, today we are on holy ground. The saints have come marching in, St. Augustine's and St. Peter's. We'll see which saints get counted in the number within the hour. Now let's meet the contestants. To my immediate right, we have St. Augustine's College, represented by
Sharif Mohammed, Form 3. Nane Asumwa, Form 3.
Augustine, Form 3.
To the far right, we have the saints from Nkwetia, St. Peter's Secondary School. Please introduce yourselves.
Form 3.
Smack Bediaku, Form 3.
Alebna Prince, Form 3.
So there we are, viewers. As you know, both schools are competing to get into the semi-finals. So it's going to be quite a hot contest, and I just hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy the program. Contestants, for round one, you have 15 seconds within which to give me an answer. A correct answer earns you 3 points. That's if it's to a major question, and a bonus question answered correctly earns you a point. Please note that unless otherwise stated, a major question is to be attempted 3 times only before the bell. St. Augustine's, your question. Find y in terms of x from the equation log y plus 2 log x equals 2. Nanayao.
Sy is equal to 50.
Find y in terms of x.
Y is equal to 50 over x.
That is not true. Yes, Sharif.
Y is equal to 100 over x squared.
That is correct. St. Peter's. Find y in terms of x from the equation log to base 2 of y minus 3 log to base 2 of x equals 1. Prince.
Y is equal to 2 over x cubed.
No, not 2 over x cubed. Yes, Kwabna.
Y is equal to 2x cubed.
That is correct. St. Augustine's College, what is a lens? What is a lens? Nanayao.
A lens is a type of mirror in which the width, the diameter of the whole lens varies. That means the diameter of the whole lens varies.
That is not true. For a bonus, St. Peter's, smart.
A lens is a transparent glass material which is bounded by curved surface and can either refract light to a converging position, or it will diverge light to a position.
I'll give you 1 mark. Sometimes it's bounded by 2 spherical surfaces. Other times you have a plane surface on one side and a spherical surface on the other side. Your major question, St. Peter's. How is the power of a lens of focal length f defined? Kwabna.
The power of a lens is defined as the reciprocal of the focal length in meters.
That is correct. St. Augustine's College, give me the chemical names of the following 3 vitamins in the B group. B1, B3, B6. What are their chemical names? Sharif.
Thiamine, riboflavin, thiamine, niacin, and
2 out of 3. B1 is thiamine, B3 is niacin, and B6 is pyridoxine. St. Peter's Secondary, give me the chemical names of the following 3 fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K.
Vitamin A is retinol, vitamin D is calciferol, and vitamin K is phylloquinol.
And that is correct. St. Augustine's College, name the non-metallic elements in the 3rd period of the periodic table. Nanaya.
Gallium, calcium.
Yes, Afo.
Sulfur. What's the next one? Shit.
1 out of 3. Phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, and argon. St. Peter's, name the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th elements in group 2 of the periodic table. Smart.
Magnesium, calcium, and strontium.
And that is perfect. St. Augustine's College, define resistivity of a metal wire. Nanaya.
The resistivity of a metal wire is the resistance of the wire of cross-sectional area 1 meter and of length 1.
Cross-sectional meter what?
1 meter squared and length 1 meter.
1 meter. I'll give you the mark. And it's basically the resistance offered by that wire to the flow of current through it. St. Peter's Secondary, define moment of a force about a point.
The moment of a force about a point is the product of the force and the perpendicular distance of the force from that point.
From which point?
It's the product of the force and the perpendicular distance from the pivot to that point, to that force.
From the line of action of the force to the point about which the moment is taken. I'll give you 2 out of 3. St. Augustine's College, your question. Make H the subject of the formula. Make H the subject of the formula. A equals 2 pi r into r plus H. Sheriff.
A over 2 pi r, or minus r.
H equals, that's what you have to say. Go ahead.
H equals A over 2 pi r, or minus r.
That is correct. St. Peter's Secondary, make V the subject of the formula. 1 over U plus 1 over V equals 1 over F. Make V the subject of the formula. Smart.
V equals UF over U minus F.
That is correct. St. Augustine's, what are stereoisomers? Afo.
Stereoisomers are geometrical isomers. They have the same formula. They have the same molecular formula, but they have different spatial arrangements.
I'll give you the mark. In other words, they differ in the arrangement of the atoms in space. St. Peter's, your question. Which of these compounds will not show stereoisomerism? Which of these will not show stereoisomerism? CH3, CHOH, CH2, CH3. That is A. B, CH3, CH double bond, CH, CH3. C, CH3, CH2, CH. Let me take that again. CH3, CH2, CHCl, CH3. And D, CH3, CCl2, CH2, CH2. Smart.
A.
I'm sorry, Smart. It is D. It is D because it lacks a chiral or asymmetric carbon, and its mirror images are superimposable. Your question, St. Augustine's, and is the last for this round. In vertebrates, what name is given to the roof of the mouth that separates the oral cavity from the nasal cavity? Only one attempt. Yes, Sheriff. Sheriff.
Hard palate.
Just palate. That is correct. It is the palate. St. Peter's Secondary, what name is given to the membrane located between the retina and sclerotic layer of the eye? Only one attempt. Smart.
The choroid.
That is correct. That brings us to the end of round 1. And at the end of the round, here are the scores. St. Augustine's has 18 points. St. Peter's has 21 points. Now to round 2, the applied science round. Contestants, you have 15 seconds within which to give me an answer. In a few cases where questions involve calculation, you will have 30 seconds within which to give me an answer. We'll start with you, St. Peter's. Find the base number if the addition is correct. 154 plus 563 equals 727. Find the base number. Prince.
Base 9.
That is correct. St. Augustine's, find the base number if the multiplication is correct. 106 times 7 equals 752. Sharif.
8.
8 is correct. St. Peter's, an ambulance sounding its horn quickly moves past you. As the ambulance approaches you, the pitch of the horn seems to increase. However, as the ambulance passes by, the pitch of the horn decreases as the ambulance moves farther and farther away. Why is this so? Prince.
This is due to Doppler effect. When the ambulance is moving towards you, the speed, the direction of motion of the ambulance and its sound is both towards you. But when the ambulance is moving away from you, you see that the ambulance, the direction of the sound is moving in opposite direction to the ambulance. Hence, the pitch is lower there.
What makes the pitch lower?
The fact that the ambulance and the sound are moving in the same direction when they are coming towards you.
You know, I'll give you 2 out of 3. Yeah, it is as a result of Doppler effect, but then you have to explain the Doppler effect. And as the vehicle moves towards you, the wavelengths seem to be compressed, so the frequency is increased, and so you get a higher pitch. And as it moves away from you, the wavelengths tend to be stretched out, and so you have a lower frequency that gives you a lower pitch. St. Augustine's, current will not flow between 2 points of different potentials unless there is a connection between the 2 points. Is this statement wholly true? Explain. Nanaya.
It's not wholly true because the connection must, that part is used to connect, it must be a conductor for current.
That is correct. That is correct. Your question, St. Peter's. Even though milk contains proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and minerals, and is therefore an ideal food for infants, it is less satisfactory for adults. Why? Kwabna.
This is because the milk is too watery, and as such, the adults will need to take in a lot of milk. And also, the milk lacks iron. So when the adults are to take in a lot of milk, they are going to get anemia. This is because the milk lacks iron.
That is correct. That is correct. And of course, adults don't have renin that would curdle the milk to keep it longer in the stomach. All right. St. Augustine's. Do manual workers need much more protein than sedentary workers? Give a reason for your answer. Afu.
They don't need much more protein, but rather need much more carbohydrates. Since manual workers, they need energy for their work, but for the protein requirements, I think they all need the same protein requirement.
Do they need more carbohydrates?
Since manual workers, they need energy to do their work, they need more carbohydrates compared to the sedentary
workers.
What
else will they need more of? Apart from carbohydrates, you've been bailed out. I'll give you 2 out of 3. Actually, they need more fatty foods, all right? They need more fatty foods because fats would normally yield more energy when you oxidize it. St. Peter's Secondary. A transition metal has a valence shell of N-1 D5 NS2. Predict 2 of its commonest valencies, given your reasons. Smart.
+2 and +7.
Reasons.
This is because in the outermost shell it has 7 electrons, and so it will be able to, in order to.
Prince, do you want to help?
+2 and +7. This is because it has 7 electrons in its outermost shell and 2 electrons in the s orbital, so it can easily lose 2 to be stable. That's the d orbital will be half filled, and it will be very stable. Or it can lose all the 7, where it will be fully filled. It will be there will be no electrons in the outer shell in
and
which
that
it will be stable.
Correct. St. Augustine's. Give the commonest oxidation state of an element with atomic number 18 and explain your answer. Afu.
Normally it's 0 because since it's got a stable electronic configuration, there's no need for it to lose or gain electrons.
What gives it the stable electronic configuration?
It has got a completely filled valence shell.
It's got completely filled valence shells. That is correct. Your question, St. Peter's Secondary. Water is purified by passing it through cation and anion exchanges, one after the other. What is the water expected to be after passing through the cation exchanger only? Is it slightly basic, neutral, or acidic? Explain.
It's going to be basic. This is because the cation exchanger will allow only the H+ part of the water, the H+ ions of the water, to pass through, leaving the OH- in solution.
That is not true, Kwabna. Yes, Prince.
Okay, it's going to be acidic. This is because the cation part will undergo cation hydrolysis to produce more excess H3O+ ions or hydrogen ions.
2 out of 3. The explanation wasn't quite right. It will be acidic. When you pass it through a cation exchanger, the cations in the water would be exchanged for H+ ions. It's just that. So it will be slightly acidic. St. Augustine's College. What advantage does distilled water have over deionized water? Afu.
There are no impurities in distilled water.
And what happens in deionized water?
What's in deionized water? Just in the calcium and magnesium salts have been replaced.
Yes, and I do want to do better.
The calcium magnesium ions have been reduced to form the precipitates.
Naya, I'll give you 2. He himself is not convinced about what he's saying, so he's throwing his hand about. Yes, with distilled water, all the impurities are removed. With deionized water, it's only impurities due to ions that are gotten rid of. So if there are impurities due to neutral molecules, they remain in the water. Your question, St. Peter's Secondary. Two towns A and B are 240 kilometers apart. A car leaves A and travels towards B at 90 kilometers per hour. At the same time, another car leaves B and travels towards A at 70 kilometers per hour. Find the time that elapses before the cars meet. Yes, Kwabna?
1.5 hours.
That is correct. St. Augustine's. A motorist drives from A to B and back. From A to B, he drives at 80 kilometers per hour, and from B to A, he drives at 60 kilometers per hour. If the return journey takes 30 minutes longer, find the distance from A to B. Yes, Nanaya.
35.
Not 35. And even the 35 is without units. Yes, Nanaya.
280 kilometers.
That is not true. For a bonus, St. Peter's Prince.
120 kilometers.
120 kilometers is correct. Explain why people generally feel uncomfortable when humidity is high and the weather is hot. Prince?
When humidity is high, the moisture, the air around the body is saturated. Hence, there's no enough evaporation to cool the body temperature. Hence, the fellow feels uncomfortable.
That is correct. St. Augustine's. Explain why people feel uncomfortable when humidity is low and the air is very dry. Apple.
When the air is very dry, the rate of evaporation is increased, so there's a lot of evaporation of sweat. So the body, the individual will feel very cold.
Do better, do better. Yes, Sheriff.
When the air is dry, the rate of evaporation is faster. And with low humidity, the air is not saturated around it. So because of the fast rate of the evaporation, it takes away latent heat of evaporation. That makes it that makes the individual feel very cold, hence uncomfortable.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. I'll give you 2 out of 3. The first part is right. There's excessive evaporation of water from the body. That can make the throat uncomfortably dry, and the skin also will be very dry and rough. All right? Your question, St. Peter's. The major function of the parathyroid hormone is to increase the level of calcium ions in the blood when it falls. Give me 2 ways in which this is brought about. Yes, Prince.
Okay, it increases the absorption of calcium from the intestines. Then it also increases the release of calcium from the bones into the bloodstream.
That is correct. And the other one is the reabsorption of calcium from the renal filtrate. Okay, but I asked for only 2. Your last question for this round, St. Augustine's. The presence of teeth in the mouth of several species of animals enables them to break up their food for easy digestion. Birds do not have teeth and therefore swallow their food whole. How are they able to break up the food taken in?
There are small stones in the gizzard, and this helps in the breaking up of the food.
Is that all, Afo? Yes, Anaya, do you want to add something?
At the gizzard, there's grinding, and from there maybe you enter the other parts which will secrete more enzymes.
I'll give you 2 out of 3, Afo. Before it gets to the gizzard, the food that is taken in whole is stored in the crop where it is softened. So it's the softened food that gets to the gizzard and it's broken down due to the muscular contractions of the gizzard and the grit in the gizzard. That, viewers, brings us to the end of round 2. And at the end of round 2, the gap has been widened. St. Augustine's has 35 points. St. Peter's has 44 points. Let's move on to the problem of the day. See what happens. Contestants, please turn over your sheets. I'll read the problem of the day. Remember, you have 3 minutes within which to solve this problem. In a 4x400 meter relay race, runners A, B, C, and D are in one team. Runner A runs his round at 8 meters per second, B at 80/9 meters per second, C at 80/11 meters per second, and D finishes the race. If the average velocity of the team is 160/19 meters per second, how fast does D run? And that, viewers, is the problem of the day, and it is worth 10 points. Thanks for staying with us. Let's now see what our contestants did with the problem of the day. Thank you, contestants, for those solutions. I'll now go through what I have before me and see how you fared, and then I'll award marks. We said let distance D run by each runner be 400 meters. That was the information given. The total distance run, therefore, is 4 times 400 meters. Now, V is distance over time, that's D over T, and therefore T is D over V. Time taken by runner A, therefore, is D over VA, that is 400 over 8, that gives you 50 seconds. Similarly, TB, that's time taken by runner B, is 400 times 9 over 80, that is 400 divided by 80 over 9. And that gives you 45 seconds. And TC, done the same way, would give you 55 seconds. Now we've been given the average velocity that the average velocity over total time taken. And therefore, total time taken is the total distance run over average velocity. So we have 4 times 400 times 19 over 160, because the average velocity is 160 over 19. And if you work that out, you should get 190 seconds. Therefore, the time taken by the runner D should be the 190 seconds, which was the total time taken by the team, minus the sum of the time taken by the other 3 runners. So we have 190 seconds minus 50 seconds plus 45 seconds plus 55 seconds. And that is 190 seconds minus 150 seconds, which should give you 40 seconds. So runner D took 40 seconds, And so his speed was 400 over 40, which is 10 meters per second. Let's take a look at the solution from St. Augustine's. They were able to calculate the time taken by the 3 runners using time equals distance over speed. And they got those times right. Beyond that, I don't know what they were doing. They had total distance over total time, and they decided to put down the average velocity that had been given. The average velocity is your total time, your total distance run divided by the total time taken. The total distance run is 4 times 400, all right? But you put down 160 over 19, which is the average velocity you were given in the question. And then you move on to have an equation where 4 times 400 over 150 plus x equals 160 over 19. And that doesn't make sense at all to me. I followed through with that calculation and ended up with 4 seconds. It does not give me 10 meters per second. I took my time, followed through with that equation you folks have there, and it doesn't give me 10 meters per second. And so for that effort, I'll give St. Augustine's 3 out of 10. Now let's take a look at the solution from St. Peter's Secondary. They did everything right. They calculated the time taken by all the runners. They went ahead to find the total time taken by the whole team, subtracted it from 190 and got 40 seconds, went ahead, divided by 400 meters, and got the speed of D to be 10 meters per second. And so they get 10 out of 10. That brings us to the end of round 3. Let's now move on to round 4. Contestants have mostly 30 seconds within which to give me an answer. A correct answer earns you 3 points. An incorrectly answered question may be passed on to be attempted only once for a bonus point of 1. We'll start with you, St. Augustine's. If the speed of light in air is 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second, what is the speed of light in plexiglass of refractive index 1.5? Yes, Nanaya.
4.5 times 7 is about 8.
That is not true. Yes, Afu.
2 times 10 is about 8 meters per second.
That is correct. St. Peter's. The speed of light is 3.0 times 10 to the 8 meters per second in air, and 2.5 times 10 to the 8 meters per second in a certain substance. What is the refractive index of the substance? Prince?
1.2.
1.2 is correct. St. Augustine's, if matrices A and B, and this is a preamble actually, if matrices A and B are given by A equals 3, 2, negative 1, 1, and B equals 2, negative 2, 1, 3, find 3A minus 2B. Yes, Nanaya.
5, 10 minus 5 minus 3.
That is correct. Find 3B plus 2A. Yes, Prince.
12 minus 2. 1, 11.
That is correct. St. Augustine's, in which of the following organisms would you find a clitellum? A, amoeba, B, tapeworm, C, liver fluke, D, snail, E, earthworm.
Earthworm.
Earthworm is correct. In which of the following organisms would you find annulus? A, sea anemone, B, fern, C, trypanosoma, D, oyster, E, starfish. Yes, Prince?
Fern.
Fern is correct. Your question, St. Augustine's. The reduction potentials of iron and nickel are negative 0.41 volts and minus 0.23 volts. Determine which is possible. Nickel plating by dipping a strip of iron sheet into a nickel 2 plus solution, or iron plating by dipping a strip of nickel into an Fe2 plus solution. Calculate the initial redox potential for whichever process is possible. Yes, Afu.
The second one. I forgot it.
Which is the second one?
The plating of iron using the nickel. And the potential is 0.09 volts.
It's not 0.09. Yeah, Nanaya.
The potential is 0.01.
I'll give you 1 out of 3. Because if you didn't get the EMF right, I don't see how you get the answer. It means you're guessing. It's the strip of iron in the nickel 2 plus solution, and that's because the EMF is 0.18, which is positive. St. Peter's. Will there be any observable change when aluminium nails are dipped in a zinc 2 plus solution? The reduction potentials are minus 1.7 volts for aluminium and minus 0.8 volt for zinc. Give reasons for your answer. Yes, Prince.
There will be a reaction. This is because zinc will be, aluminium will be oxidized, and zinc will be reduced, and the EMF will be 1.1 volts.
The EMF will not be
0.9 volts.
That is correct. St. Augustine's. An electric motor rated at 500 watts was used to raise a load of mass 16 kilograms through a vertical height of 125 meters. If it took the motor 50 seconds to raise the load through the given height, calculate the percentage efficiency of the motor in converting electrical energy into mechanical energy. Take G to be 10 meters per second squared. Yes, Nanaya.
4%.
It's not 4%. Sharif.
30%.
That is not true. For a bonus, St. Peter's, Prince.
80%.
80% is your major question, St. Peter's. An electric motor rated 1000 watts was used to raise a 50 kilogram object through a height h. If it took 40 seconds to raise the load and the efficiency of the motor in converting electrical energy into mechanical energy is 80%, find H. Take G to be 10 meters per second squared. Yes, Prince.
64 meters.
64 meters. Listen to this common preamble. Find the range of values of x for which the given function is increasing. St. Augustine's, y equals x plus 1 over x. Yes, Nanaya.
S is greater than 1, S is less than minus 1.
Nanaya again.
S is greater than 1, S is less than minus 1.
I'll give you 2, Nanaya. Because if I ask you to do better, you might get confused. X is greater or equal to 1 or less or equal to minus 1. St. Peter's. Y equals x cubed minus 2x squared plus x plus 3. Yes, Kwabna.
1 over 3 is less or equal to x, is less or equal to 1.
Again.
1 over 3 is less or equal to x, is less or equal to 1.
Yes, Matt.
S lies between 1 over 3 and 1 inclusive.
Again, I'll give you 2 out of 3. X is less than or equal to 1 over 3. Okay, or 1/3 is greater than or equal to x. Or x is greater or equal to 1. Okay? So it's one or the other. It's not a range. It's not an entire range. Your question, St. Augustine. How does the function of the cotyledons in a bean seedling differ from that in a maize seedling? Alpha.
Okay, in the maize seedling we have the endosperm, and the endosperm provides the germinating seed with food. But in the case of in the bean seed is the cotyledon which provides food.
Again.
In the maize seed there's an endosperm, which is a food reserve, so it provides food for the germinating seed. Whilst in the bean there's no endosperm, so it's the cotyledon which provides food.
2 out of 3. You've been told that in both cases they are cotyledons. How do they differ? In the first instance, the bean seedling, the cotyledons come up above the soil, and they act as the first photosynthetic leaves, produce food for the shoot to grow. In the case of the maize seedling, it remains under the soil and takes the food, transmits it to the growing roots and shoots. Do you understand? Your question, St. Peter's. How does combustion in an engine differ from respiration in a human being? Kwabna?
In the combustion, that's in respiration, oxygen is taken in, and after the process, CO2 is released. But in the combustion engine, this does not occur in it.
Kwabna. Yes, Prince.
In respiration, water molecules are produced, but in combustion, no water molecules are produced.
That is not true. To St. Augustine's for a bonus. Yeah, in respiration, they are both the same things, but respiration takes place slowly and enzymes are involved. But in the engine, there's nothing like that. Last 2 questions of round 4. St. Augustine's. The vapor of carbon 4 sulfide burns in air to form an explosive mixture of carbon 2 oxide and sulfur 4 oxide. Give a balanced equation for the reaction. Sherry.
CS2 plus 2O2 going into CO plus 2SO2.
Not true. Not true. Yes, Nanaya.
CS2 plus O2 goes to CS plus SO2.
No. For a bonus, St. Peter's. Yes, Matt.
CS2 plus 3O2 going to CO2 plus 2SO2.
No. It is 2CS2 plus 5O2 goes to 2CO plus 4SO2. Your major question, the final for round 4. When aluminium hydroxide is heated, it decomposes to give aluminium oxide and water. Give a balanced equation for the reaction. Kwabna.
2Al into bracket OH3 go into Al2O3 plus 3 water.
That is correct. And so we come to the end of round 4. At the end of round 4, here are the scores. St. Augustine's has 52 points. St. Peter's has 75 points. And now to round 5, the tricky round. Anything can happen in this round. Contestants are competing to be the first to solve the riddles that I'll be reading the clues to. I'll be reading the clues to some riddles, and you are competing to be the first to solve the riddle. When you're ready to solve the riddle, you call my attention by ringing the bells in front of you. Let's hear the bell from St. Augustine's. And let's hear the bell from St. Peter's. Good luck to both schools. First riddle. Some people call me a deceiver, and they might be right. However, I have never been able to deceive a blind person. My name might make you think I have something to do with mirrors, but again, that is deceptive. I am a result of one important property of light. Who rang the bell? Nanayao?
Mirage.
Mirage is correct. Second riddle. I am an insoluble fibrous protein. My precursor is a normal constituent of blood plasma. I am the foundation of a blood clot. I come into existence when a blood vessel... Nanaya.
Fibrin.
Fibrin is... Let's take the third riddle. I am not a measuring device. I am not a government. I describe myself as a humble housekeeper. My friends think I am a law unto myself. I simply keep an eye on electrons and their lodgings. I am needed to organize them when they live in 3 and 5 bedroom houses. I ensure that each room is occupied singly first by the same sexes. Yes.
Shell.
Shell is not correct, and I'll take the other clues. Listen to the other clues, St. Augustine's. I ensure that each room is occupied singly first by the same sexes, and if there is room for more, pairing is allowed, but between opposite sexes only. This avoids possible fatal conflicts. Who am I? Who am I? Who rang the bell? Nanayao?
Degenerate orbitals.
No. Every clue counts. Remember, I said I'm a law unto myself, so it has to be a law, a principle, or something. It's Hund's rule. All right, Hund's rule. To the final riddle. I am a movement. I preserve distances and angles, and hence people say I am rigid. Generally, I am a motion in a specified direction for a fixed distance. I am usually associated with a vector. Linguistically, smart.
Displacement.
I'm sorry. Linguistically, I am an interpretation from one language into another. Who am I? Who am I? Nanayao.
Simple harmonic.
Oh. Nanayao, I thought the last clue was a giveaway. When you interpret one language into another, what have you done? Translation. Translation is the correct answer. Let's move on to the second part of round 5. You have 10 seconds within which to determine whether the statement I make is true or false. A correct answer gives you 2 points. You get 1 mark deducted from the score already earned for an incorrect answer. Your statement, St. Peter's. A good buffer is one whose pH does not change irrespective of the amount of base or acid added to it. Smart.
False.
That is correct. St. Augustine's. A rectangle has no line of symmetry. Apple.
False.
Correct. St. Peter's. Magnetic flux lines can pass through non-magnetic materials? Smart.
True.
Correct. St. Augustine's phenolphthalein is a suitable indicator for titration of sodium hydrogen trioxocarbonate 4 with dilute HCl. Sharif. Correct. St. Peter's. A zygospore results from the fusion of two gametes. Smart?
True.
Correct. St. Augustine's. St. Augustine's magnetic flux lines from like poles repel each other. Sharif?
True.
Correct. St. Peter's. A square is a rhombus. A square is a rhombus. Smart?
True.
Correct. St. Augustine's. The head of a caterpillar has 6 simple eyes. Apple.
True.
Correct. St. Peter's. If a spherical mirror forms a diminished image, then the mirror can only be a convex mirror. Smart?
False.
Correct. St. Augustine's. Barium tetraoxosulfate 6 is insoluble in water because of the rather high lattice energy of the salt. Apple.
True. True.
Correct. St. Peter's. The prolegs of a caterpillar occur on the 3rd to the 6th abdominal segments. Smart?
True.
Correct. St. Augustine's. An annulus is a region between two circles. An annulus is a region between two circles. Nanaya.
True.
Nanaya, that's not always true. The circles must have the same center. Your statement, St. Peter's. All ammonium salts are soluble in water. Smart?
True.
Correct. St. Augustus, if a spherical mirror forms a magnified image, then the mirror can only be a concave mirror. Yes, Sharif?
True.
Correct. Your final statement, St. Peter's, area of a circle is proportional to the perimeter of the circle. Smart?
False.
Correct. Your final statement, St. Augustine's, Rhizopus reproduces asexually in adverse conditions. Sharif?
False.
That is correct. And that brings us to the end of round 5. And after 5 rounds of competition, here are the scores. St. Augustine's has 71 points. St. Peter's has 91 points. Indeed, the saints came marching in, and the saints from Impetia were those who were counted in the number. Hard luck, St. Augustine's. Thank you for coming onto the program. You were impressive, but St. Peter's was better. We'll see you next year. Congratulations, St. Peter's. I'll see you at the semi-final stage. Viewers, this is where we end the program. Next week, I'll bring you the first semi-final contest between Presec School and Opokuwari Secondary School. Don't miss it. Have a good weekend.